Hi, StarCraft here, and Merry Belated Christmas. I know I haven't done a video in a while. I've been kind of burned out lately, to be honest. I am planning on getting some older videos that Ingrid and I recorded of us going over the Rambo movies going into the new year. But today, on Christmas, I decided to watch with my family Wonder Woman 84. And I've got things to say about it, especially with some of the reviews I've been seeing. Okay, first of all, I gotta say, it was alright. First one is still better, but I really still enjoyed this one. It gets a little long and all that stuff. There's issues with it, which I'll go over, but overall, you should see it at least once. Now, there are all of them out there who are saying it's shit, it's crap. It's not. I still put it above a bunch of the other Marvel movies, but there's some other Marvel movies that are above it. I still put it over Batman v Superman, Justice League, and Man of Steel, but beneath the original Wonder Woman and Aquaman, I'd say it's about on par with Shazam, is where I would put it. But the biggest thing I want to point out is people keep on saying, oh, it's full of Trump derangement syndrome, all this stuff. Guys, it's not. I can assure you that right now. It's not. The only thing those people are saying when they get the problem is the fact, like it's been said many times before during the production, Maxwell Lord is based on Trump from the 80s at his peak. That is what Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot have said time and again they were going for. They were not going for any current politics at all. If that were the case, if they really were going for Trump derangement syndrome, they wouldn't have Max actually be not evil, more over his head and keep pushing the envelope. And at the very end, he does redeem himself to show that he does care for a certain someone. I'll get to that in a bit. If that was meant to show Trump, Trump derangement syndrome, Trump's bad, the worst, enough to have some people who actually have TDS saying like, oh, this is too much, then that tells me they didn't get it. They were projecting and saw a lot more than was there. But what did this movie get right? The acting was very good. I saw Kristen Wiig was very good as Barbara Minerva, and her change from being this mousy little pushover to eventually becoming this sexy woman and then falling off the rails until eventually she became Cheetah. I'll get to that in a bit. I saw Pedro Pascal was a very good Maxwell Lord. You could feel a little bit of the Trumpness in him, but for the most part it also still felt like Max. And that you also knew there was just something off about this guy, but in a way that was intentional. Gal Gadot and Chris Pine were great in this, but then that's where we get to one of the issues. This is a monkey's paw story. The whole movie is just one giant glorified monkey's paw, where you have this little thing that was created by the god of mischief, the Greek god, whatever it was, and that anyone who wishes it will get it twisted, and yet at the same time would then have something take away from them. In the case of Diana, she wishes for Steve to come back. Oh, there's a spoiler film review, by the way. She wishes for Steve to come back. He does through someone else's body, but then she starts to lose her powers. Or Barbara wishes she was more like Diana, not realizing what Diana is an Amazon. She starts to become stronger, sexier, all this stuff, but she starts to lose her niceness, her kind heart. She becomes colder, more selfish. Then Max wishes he became the wishing stone, whatever it was called. And it disintegrates, and now he's the one granting wishes. He has to convince people, and then he decides their bad luck in return. Which, okay, that is an interesting twist, someone actually becoming the item. Now, one thing people in the leak plots kept saying was Max is getting more powerful. He's not, at all. In fact, it's more of a case where he does so many wishes that they start to slam into each other and crisscross. Now, I mentioned that Max has a son. He does. Never really explained why he's Asian, but he does have a son who he does care for, but at the same time, he doesn't want his son to be a disappointment. Because we find out at the very end, Max grew up poor and in a very abusive family household. Father chewed him out, was abusive to him and his mother, all that stuff. And then Max just wants what he feels he is due. But he keeps making bad choices, horrible choices, the wrong choices, every chance he goes. that he keeps on saying like, yes, I'm gonna bank everything on this. Crud, it's not going very well, but I have all these investors, what do I do? Things like that. Heck, we get appearance by a Simon Stagg in this universe, you know, from Metamorpho and all that. But, again, Max is there's no straight on bad guy. It's more the situation that's causing all this. And I'll be honest, the stuff with Steve and Diana gets a little long. It's adorable. I really do like it, but and I like how they flip-flop the whole fish out of water with now Diana knowing what's going on and Steve has no idea. That's fine. And again, it's nice to actually wrap up a lot of stuff with Steve. But when it dominates the plot and then this whole, so much of it, it does feel a little, I hate to compare this, it's like Iron Man 2 where it's all over the place. And that's probably one of the big downsides I would give this movie. It is just so disjointed and yet predictable still. That's why they don't get the first movie. It wasn't that predictable. This one was, however, unfortunately. But overall, though, and now once we lead into the climax and everything, and now you have her in the golden armor, which we found out belonged to an Amazon who stayed behind while the men were trying to prevent her from going off the Paradise Island. Spoilers, it's Linda Carter who plays her in the end. Love that little appearance. And that Diana wears that armor. It's pretty much the Kingdom Come armor. And it amounts to more fan service more than anything else as she uses it. But I will say this. The whole point of the wishing stone is that you have to renounce your wish to either destroy the stone or renounce your wish. Because Max already wished he was the stone, you'd have to either kill him because there's no other way of destroying it, or you have to renounce your wish. Diana actually does renounce the wish a lot sooner than I thought. She renounced it leading into the climax. After she found out how she just got beaten up by Barbara before she became Cheetah. Again, I'll get to that. And basically, you know, that's when Steve has to keep on convincing her. And basically she agrees to it. And she runs away from Steve saying, I renounce my wish. And then she takes up in the air and starts to learn how to fly. And again, a lot of this stuff that's really good and awesome, but kind of just tossed in. Like it's all, let's throw this in here. Okay, you throw this in here. Really great ideas. But when you mixed it, basically you put all the stuff here that should have mixed well, but instead mixed up where you get a bunch of clumps here and there. It's like when you're trying to make cookie dough, but you didn't soften the butter very well. You start, now granted if you beat it a bit more, you start to get a good mix, but beforehand you start having a lot of dryness and clumps and all that stuff. That's what this movie was. Clump cookie dough that wasn't beaten long enough. Beaten as in, you know what I mean. But then the climax with Cheetah. I thought it was good, but at the same time, the fact that we got the typical, they become their costume counterpart in the last chunk of the movie. Granted, we did have a fight with her, still as Barbara earlier, but they saved Cheetah for the very end, felt so wasted, and she's turned back to normal at the very end. Now, the only thing that gives hope is that it didn't show, I don't think it showed if she renounced her wish. So who knows where that's gonna go. But again, with Max, he just escalates things more and more because eventually he knows that this thing is killing me every wish I grant. So I need more people so I can start taking more of their life force so I can keep going because he just wants to do all this stuff. He wants to have all the stuff that he feels he deserves, and he wants to also help everyone, not realizing that everything he's doing has consequences. Like the president wishes for more nuclear weapons. Oh shit! Now Russia wants to escalate things further. Everyone's asking for more weapons and everything. When you have everyone ask for a wish, it's just a cavalcade of everything. But the one other thing that the plot lead got wrong, it didn't reverse everything. No, everything gets okay. Let me rephrase that. It doesn't rewind like a claim. Instead, everything's undone, but people still are aware of what happened. Like you have one person say, wish to his wife, I wish you dropped dead, and she almost dies. He's gonna have to live with that. That it almost happened because he said so. Things like that. And it's just, again, there's some good ideas here for as cliched as it was. And again, it's a bit of a mess, but not over so. Like I said, the Trump derangement system is not there, and I've been saying this for quite a while. It wasn't there. You might want it to be there, but it wasn't there. Overall, and at the end, of course, Diana. Now, the plot leaks also claim that she hooks up with the guy who Steve took the body of. No, she does not. They have a nice little moment, but then she moves on. That's it. And it ends nicely, but the movie does feel a little long. It's a little all over the place, like I said. But overall, I still think it was good. I can understand why people might have problems with it. But for those who are saying it's one of the worst movies or it's a complete bomb, it's not. You can have issues. Like I said, it's okay, is what it is. Like I said, I give it a 7 out of 10 if I would. But yeah, overall, that's really all I have to say about it. Go out and check it out yourself if you want. Just get HBO Max and just watch it. You don't have to pay anything additional to it. It's only available until January 24th. And yeah, see for yourself. Like I said, it doesn't blow the first one out of the water. It doesn't. But it's still a good movie nonetheless. So yeah. Nothing else more I can say. Catch you guys next time, whenever that'll be. And hope you have a merry one and a happy new year. See ya. Actually, before I end it further, I got one other thing I want to point out. Okay, I completely forgot. The set design, everything felt like the 80s. The mall, everything felt like the 80s. I just want to applaud that. It felt like they really captured everything about it. The way it was shot, the way everything went, at least when they were in America, felt and screamed like the 80s. Patty Jenkins did an incredible job directing this. Also, and the whole Diana, with the lasso and no sword or shield, understandable. We know she's eventually going to get back to it anyway by Batman v Superman, but for this point, they decided to no guns, whatnot. Perfectly fine, actually, with the character. But like I said, everything about this screamed 80s. I just wanted to get out of the way before I forget, or someone else brings it up. This felt that good for the most part. A lot better than the trailers put it out to be. Is it a masterpiece? I wouldn't go that far, but I still enjoyed it. So again, catch you guys later. Just wanted to get out of the way before I forget, before I actually put this video together. So see you guys later.